Yo, what's up everybody, FornaTRON here, and today we're going to be going over the new Souls-likes that were shown at the PlayStation State of Play the other day. So let's get into it. Okay, so this first one is Stellar Blade. A lot of people are hype about this. Let's watch this trailer.
Stop worrying, we know you
When I first saw this right away, I was like, man, they have certain shots that they like to focus on, if you know what I'm saying. I can already tell by looking at this game, it's going to be, I feel like its biggest weakness is going to be its story.
Welcome to the world of Stellar Blade.
Like, it's gonna have one of those stories that like seems really in-depth.
Post-apocalyptic Earth.
Yeah, like I'm getting kind of tired of like the post-apocalyptic Earth. Like the Earth is a wasteland, there's nothing left but zombies and like weird mutant creatures.
Players will take control of Eve, a member.
What else are you gonna pull from, right?
Squad.
Let's start with some positives. So this character looks awesome. The environments look awesome. From that standpoint, great.
While most of the 7th Airborne Squad is lost during their descent from the colony,
I feel like this is going to be most of the game. You're going to be in dialogue moments throughout the entire fucking game. I bet you it's going to be like 70% this, where you're just like talking with a bunch of NPCs, and then every now and then they're going to have like these action moments where I like, just from looking at the combat of this game, it looks like you just mash a button, like you just mash square.
she puts her technical knowledge to use by upgrading Eve's equipment throughout the game.
Yep, great.
Here, done.
Something.
And don't get me wrong, that's fun for a lot of people, like the mash one button or like have another button for like range combat. People love that shit. It kind of reminds me of like maybe like a Bayonetta type game, I'm thinking.
Whole city underneath the wasteland.
Eve is called Angel by the survivors.
Okay, so this right here, I love it when games do this. They have these NPCs that have like masks on. That is a way to cut corners, because then you don't have to have a bunch of individual faces that you have to make. You can just have like one generic character shape and then just put a mask on them, and then they're a whole different character. Can cut down on modeling, but love it.
Angel by the survivors, and is an object of both awe and fear.
I'm not selling anything to you.
They'll seem a bit wary at first,
yeah, like
but will gradually loosen up.
Generic,
as there's a commitment to rebuilding
face-covered NPCs.
How are you? I see we have guests.
Hey, it's that dude from God of War.
Angel is here.
They made him a robot
The
body.
survivors will sometimes ask Eve for help.
So this, okay, this is the padding that's going to be in the game. There's going to be a bunch of fucking fetch quests, probably, and a bunch of bullshit side content that you can do that's just like repetitive. I'm already getting those vibes. A lot of you are probably so angry. You're probably commenting right now like, this game's gonna be fucking game of the year.
And malfunctioning machines and robots.
A supply camp in a place like this.
You'll occasionally find supply stations set up by previous airborne squads.
Kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy VII Remake.
At each camp,
like how you go to vending machines and stuff.
Consumable items. Acquire new skills.
Yeah. See, it's definitely an action game where like you are pressing one button mainly, and yes, there will be a possibility to do combos or to chain special attacks together, and a lot of people like translate that as being like in-depth combat, and it's like, great, like I hate games like that where basic bitch ass enemies are sponges just for you to show off your shitty combo, and it's like I don't find that fun. Like, I like attacks that do more damage, so it's like you're upgrading an attack or you're upgrading an ability so you can get through regular mobs faster to show how much stronger you're getting. But these games, their upgrade path is like, look how fancy of a fucking combo you can lay down, and then there's still like 70% health that you gotta get through.
What are you going to do after you defeat the Alpha Natiba?
All airborne squad members exist for one sole purpose.
You mean the extinction of all Natibas, right? To think that the point of
Look
your
at the
existence
boss
is
health
to
bar. That's a little bit like, look how it's got the main bar and it's got all those little sub bars. So I wonder if those are like different phases, or like it'll be like get through each bar. So you got the small ones and then you go through the large one. That would be fucking brutal. Or maybe it's like a posture bar that you gotta get rid of first, and then you can do regular damage to the main health bar. I'm also not a fan of that either.
Opening! It's windy!
Because I tend to find that games like this, like these action games, they gotta pad out those combat moments because there's just so much fucking dialogue and cutscenes in these games. So they'll just make their bosses huge sponges that it's kind of like an endurance round to get through.
Different.
This is no longer the drone you knew. So close to
The soundtrack's typical, like, it's good. I like it. It's like weeb fucking, you know, the type of person. Like, they're gonna eat this shit up. On a presentation side, this game gets full marks. Like, this game looks great. You see the money behind it. Like, you can definitely tell that there's a lot of polish in this game. Like, it's very stylish. I think it looks great. I just feel like the gameplay is just going to be like a lot of listening to dialogue and then like really padded out boss fights. But yeah, Stellar Blade, I'll play it, but like I definitely think it's just going to be like a regular action game, kind of like Bayonetta, like I said earlier. All right, moving on. We're going to be talking about Rise of the Ronin. So this is made by Team Ninja, same people who made Nioh, Nioh 2, and Wo Long. Just recently, this is going to be their PlayStation exclusive. Let's take a look at this. When I first saw this trailer, I was like, this is really giving me Ghost of Tsushima vibes. Like, you'll definitely see it when it shows off the combat. It looks like Ghost of Tsushima to me. And especially a lot of the animations, they're definitely very Team Ninja, in my opinion. I wonder how long in the game you gotta play until you can unlock this mechanic where you got the fucking grapple and the glide. Look at that, you went from like regular traversal to grappling combat to air traversal and then on horseback. Like, that is quite a lot. Let's check out this combat. This is what I was talking about. So this looks very Ghost of Tsushima. Like how Ghost of Tsushima was very like back and forth horizontal, but this kind of like you can go more three-dimensional, and then you got a finisher. I just find like Team Ninjas, their textures are like bland. Like, they look very just like muted. Probably a stylistic choice. I'm just not a fan. This kind of looks like the giraffe in Sekiro. But hey, everyone's got inspirations. See how much, like, look at how much damage this player character did. Like, how many hits they land, and look at that. Is that a boss? That looks like just a regular enemy, and just look at how much damage that they're doing. They're not doing very much damage. So again, I really don't like this where the enemies are like big sponges. And a lot, like, people try to compare it to Souls games, and it's like, no, dude, like, if you are fighting an enemy in Souls and you're doing like really little damage, something's wrong. Like, you don't have your weapon leveled up enough for that area, or something's going on, because you should always be doing a decent chunk of damage. Like, an enemy shouldn't take you like more than 10 hits to kill. Probably way less. This definitely reminded me of the opening scene of Ghost of Tsushima. Some of those. I was saying, well, some of those animations in the far right corner look a little bit weird. Yeah, see, look at these boss fights. They look very much like Ghost of Tsushima. But I feel like in a better way, because in Ghost of Tsushima, because of the honor code, like you couldn't use like, see, he just used a gun. Like in Ghost of Tsushima, like you couldn't use your throwables or anything, which I thought was bullshit. Like I was like, that's a dumb excuse. Yeah, like I'm definitely, more than a Neo or even a Wo Long vibe, I am definitely getting more Ghost of Tsushima-esque in Rise of the Ronin. First thing I thought of. Even with their cutscenes and stuff too. When you and your homies all have the same drip and you want to fucking show off. Oh. The drunken dude from Sekiro. Hey, I love it. I love calling from your inspirations. I've never been like a big fan of Neo 1 or 2 or even, well, I didn't like Wo Long, but I feel like this has a chance to be like Ghost of Tsushima, but way better.